all the females doing that little 21 with no kids trend, do y'all think y'all better than us because y'all don't got no kids? Y'all talking about some 21 with no kids, more like 21 and y'all can't even find a man to give you no kids.
There are a lot of women across this world who choose to be child-free. It's not because they're infertile. It's not because they are barren. Okay, those two words can go hand in hand. It's not because maybe financial issues. There are a lot of women who financially can choose to have children on their own without a man. Who's going to go to the sperm bank? You can pay for a baby. You can adopt a baby. You can foster a baby. But there are women who choose to just be on their own and they are happy. It's not because they are miserable or sad or envious. A lot of times it's we women with children who become envious and maybe jealous. I don't, but if I see a child-free woman, I'm like, wow, that's interesting. I like that choice. I don't know if I would choose that, but I can consider that or I can understand that. I would not maybe give them a few words because it's bringing up some feeling in me because half of my time is taken up by having to, take care of children. But the point is, in my culture, there's immediate assumption, even immediate undertone shaming that comes with women who choose to be child-free. There's immediate assumption that they are unhappy or sad. And then a lot of people don't even know why they're having children. There's no conversation about why and how many. Like, what is everybody's having a child, I'm married. The womb watchers are like talking a lot. There's a lot of gossip going around in the church. So I'll do it because everybody's doing it. Or you're just having it because you want to please a man so you can keep a marriage. There's no children in the marriage. The in-laws are, oh my gosh, she doesn't even have children. Da, 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 da. She can't have children. She's barren. Something wrong with that woman. Da, da, da. She's all about her career. There's no thinking outside the box mentality. There's a lot of women who go out of their way to have children with certain caliber, financially especially, or if they have certain status, just to trap them. There's also some women who have babies with men and put it on other men. They time it so well. It's paternity something. I'm throwing a blank, but I'm gonna find the word and I'll put in the link. But yeah, if you know what I mean, like they'll put a paternity on that man because that man might be older, can naturally have a baby, but they don't even know that. But they'll put the baby, boom, right there. But all these complications, all this trauma that comes along, but they're not emotionally. You have emotional intelligence, capacity emotionally to teach emotional regulation, to teach conflict resolution, to teach mental health, anxiety, different things, to teach skills, moral, different things to those children. If you are not into it like that, and you've grown up in environments where it's like corporal punishment is the way to go when you're upset, stonewalling, silent treatment. There are people who even give silent treatment to their children as a way to punish them, or shaming, or ignoring as a way. But anyway, this trend going around, this is just my take on it, on the fact that this is very controversial, but very necessary topic, especially in my culture, because it's just annoying when people just make the assumption that there's something wrong with the woman, where you no conversation, like that person probably just chose to, like, I don't want to. And people just mind go like fuckery, like you actually choose to, why? People will just in public say things like, so when are you having your baby? So when are you going to have a baby? Conversation and on holidays, families, the main topic when you're coming is that. So that's why it's important to know the environment. You might need to set boundaries, not go, or not. If you're unbothered, just like the trend says, 21 and child-free and happy, then everyone, people are just drip off your shoulders like nothing. Because there's a lot of miserable people who are having children just for the sake of having children. I love this comment here, because being a psych nurse practitioner, having worked in ICU before as a registered nurse, this rings so well. It said a nurse can tell you having children is not a retirement plan. So many of my patients' kids don't even check in on their parent for days. For weeks, for months, for years. Sometimes I work both in acute care inside the hospital. I've worked in long-term care, and a lot of times the children move out of state, different countries. They have their own lives. They're busy. You're not gonna be have that mentality of this is my life, not because you're having kids so they can now expectations come and take care of you, and there's that guilt and shame, like. And then there are people who are like in this sandwich generation, they are stressing out because it's like they just don't have the bandwidth for it, and they are miserable with their children. And the parents who have this huge expectation of needing them to take care of them. And a lot of times some of these parents were not even there like that when those children were younger, when they needed the presence emotionally, especially even sometimes financially. There's absence of financial support, consistent financial support, emotional support is absent, zero. Physical presence, sometimes barely there, especially the men in my country, Ghanaian men, who don't see children. They actually just see the children as object and women as object too. Like they're not humans with feelings, with emotions, that they need care and understanding. All they care about is making money, going to work. That's it. And making money that they're not all the time spending on the family. They choose projects that they want to choose. A lot of these men will just go about spending their money on
all the females doing that little 21 with no kids trend. Do y'all think y'all better than us because y'all don't got no kids? Y'all talking about some 21 with no kids, more like 21 and y'all can't even find a man to give you no kids. That's why y'all are mad. Y'all are just trying to make yourselves feel better at the fact that no man wants y'all. And it sounds like projection to me. I'm just saying, I'm the messenger. As a mother of 5, how dare you?
Mommy, can I have gushers?
Nope, y'all ate last week. What, y'all think y'all pure or something using this audio because y'all ain't got no kids? First of all, y'all be born in 1997 using this audio. Like, y'all gotta pack it up. Like, you think it's a reward to not want to give life? Like, that's selfish to me. See, I do everything for my kids.
Mommy.
And that's all right, though, because y'all laughing now. But when y'all do decide to have kids, y'all eggs gonna be dry, powdery, and you gonna be applying for Social Security. Well, I'm gonna be 38 turning up with my kids. And another thing, as a mother, I think it's so disrespectful.
Mommy, I want Doritos.
Jaden, you are 3 years old. Get you a ladder and get it yourself. You are not a newborn anymore. You're 3. So I want y'all to think about that next time y'all make that trend.
Y'all are embarrassing, and these women doing that 21 with no kids challenge in the comments being bitter. I thought that's what we wanted, for women to live their life and not have kids at a young age. I thought we wanted these women to get married before having kids. Look, I am 32 and divorced now, but I was 23 married and no kids. And baby, it is a flex. Let them have it. Like, why y'all being mad about it because it didn't work out for you? That's okay. This is what I talk about when I talk about that comparative spirit that everybody has, to look at the next person doing better than them or having a better outcome than them and getting jealous instead of inspired. Getting jealous instead of congratulating. There's no reason y'all should be mad. I'm liking every last one. Every last one. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah. In no way, shape, or form are they trying to belittle you because you have kids. I don't even know how y'all getting that out of the trend. Let them flex. The trend is not for you, and it's okay. Just if you don't like it, just keep it pushing.
Exactly.
But I'm like it every time. Like I said, I love that for them.
Thank you.
In all honesty, there are certain people who don't even deserve to have children because they have no desire to do the work of raising the children. Their main desire, a lot of times, is to honestly torture the mother of the children. There's a great number of men who do this. And they'll spend majority of the time finding ways to torment the mom. And as moms, it's so important as we lead up to Mother's Day to be aware, especially if you have a partner who is completely disengaged, feels like the bulk of the work is on you and you're still having to work a whole full-time job or sometimes more to pay a chunk of bills. It might be time for you to reconsider. Well, this is not an easy road to navigate, especially if you've been with those people who come in with a mask and once you have babies they switch up. That's a whole different level of betrayal. My point is, are you having children, especially ladies, African ladies, hyper-religious ladies, when you notice this pattern with this kind of partner, whatever it looks like for you, when you notice it, you feel like having more children, having an oopsie, having a boy child, especially my culture where having a boy child, it's like you're carrying the legacy of the man because we put marriage on such pedestal. And then having a boy child also on a whole different pedestal. And this is 2024, we're still having discussions like that. And it's like, but if that's what you're thinking or doing, like, that's not gonna change that person. That's why I always say in my videos, when you see the pattern, you see it. Anyways, in today's videos, we're talking about a very controversial topic of women who choose to be child-free. It's not because they've been, attacked by some really bad spirit in their village somewhere. They've been jujued. Or they have some juju over their head. Bad luck. They're infertile. They're, what else do we say? They're barren. And there's this type of stigma associated with women who are maybe in their late 30s, 40s, whatnot, single, child-free, or married and child-free. But people just assume, especially in my culture and beyond, globally, truly there are many cultures who just automatically assume, oh, something might be wrong with you. Oh, you're just not humble enough to attract the right man to have a baby with. Your womb has been. And people really torment themselves for years. And we just find it's your choice. If you choose to have children, it's great. But both partners have to have the grace, the skill, the empathy, the care, the patience to do the raising of those children. You should not just automatically default to the mom. I did a video on default parents, especially the default parent who still have to work full time and or beyond. So leave me a comments in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on this type of idea, because there are women who actually choose, they make the decision not to, for different reasons, their preference, financial stability, different things. I jump on AI real quick on Google, and it said child-free by choice refers to the conscious and deliberate decision not to have children, a choice that's distinct from childlessness, right? Due to circumstances or infertility. I went through my own fertility issues, and I was in my 30s, but it was due to different things that we don't talk about. I was on birth control for a long time. I had issues with fibroids, those type of things that does impact. I delayed having a second child, even though I was still consciously, fully married, because I kind of knew what patterns were presented, especially if you're not a freaking woman like I am. I'm like, I see this and I better hold on to my education. So I went back to school to get my master's, finished my master's, so I was fully pregnant up to here while I was taking my board. And I did it. I was up night studying. Baby was up to here. My son was kicking all over the place. Took my boards. I was like wobbling. And I still did it. And I'm proud of myself for doing it. I'm so glad I did it, because Where would I have been when this man chose to switch up and be like MIA? Okay, because they do that. And if you're not prepared, especially financially, you're going to be hanging on and praying and begging and hanging onto their legs while they kick you like a little dog. See? So that's why I tell ladies, don't play with your vocation, with your education, with your scale. Whatever you're going to make stable income that could at least cover your basic needs, play with it, and play with it, and play with it. Anyways, I'm going to do another second because I don't want this video to be too long. But let me know your comment. I'm going to do another take on this to just let, like, my mindset or what you thought. But let me know in your comments as to stitch these videos what your thoughts are. If you're happy, you have your children, you're not drained, you're a single mom like myself, but you're not drained. How do you cope? What do? Do you navigate? You can be, mom or dad or whatever, but you're child free. You're choosing to not, because children are expensive. Children need a lot of sacrifice, both physically, emotionally. Learning.
I know some of y'all are mad at this. 21 with no kids, trained or whatever, but it's like, we're saving children's lives. I would go as far as saying that I care more about children than actual parents, because I have no problem admitting that I am not equipped for that shit. Okay? You could absolutely do better than me. I get annoyed sometimes having to entertain my cat. Look at her. She sits in the same spot every day waiting for me to throw treats in this same box every day. I'm so sick of this game. I hate this game. I will continue to play that game because my baby wants to play that game and I chose her and it's my responsibility, but that's it. That's my limit. All right? Let people be in their limit.
Not the bitter baby mamas getting mad about the 21 with no kids challenge. No, never. Not them. Not the ones that talk about how their children brings them pride and joy every day. Not the ones that talk about they don't imagine their lives without their precious little ones. Not them. Not them showing out. All I got to say is this whole 21 with no kids challenge, this is really about sexual discipline. If you were dumb enough to lay down, ejaculating you, and then 9 months later you have a crying ass baby, and then you want to hate on the girls that decided to not go that route without having a smortion or having, miscarriages or whatever y'all want to bring up their little medical history that's allegedly, you're just hating. And it's okay, love. You had the option as well, but you decided to go that route, and there's nothing wrong with that. Be proud of having your children. Love your kids. But at the same time, don't hate on the next girly who don't want to have kids. That's not what all of us were here to do, was to have children. And most of y'all shouldn't even have kids if you're going to keep it funky. I have these conversations with people who have children all the time, and every one of them tell me, don't have kids or wait as long as you can because I wish I had your piece. Now, they could just be saying that, but I feel like there's a lot of truth into that, because I've seen people with kids. I have friends who have kids and they don't have no peaceful life. I'm sorry, they don't. They tell me every day don't have no kids, bruh. But the ones that are speaking loud in these other girls' comments that's doing the challenge, it speaks very highly that you're a hater. You're a hater, you're bitter, you're jealous. You made a terrible decision, most likely, and you are a person that is miserable that needs company. So there's that. Side note, 31 with no kids. 31 with no kids.
The women with kids are mad. Not all the women, but the women who regret their kids and their decision, they're mad. They mad at the childless women who are participating in the Jacquees challenge where they bragging about having no kids. Why exactly, if you proud and happy to have your kids, would you be upset because women are bragging about not having kids?
Exactly.
That doesn't make sense. But I'm going to ask you this. Why is it that as soon as you hear that a woman ain't got no kids, you jump immediately to she got some type of health condition where she can't have kids, or that she had a bunch of asmortions? Why can't it just be she protects her body better than you did? I know that's scary. I know that's a hard pill to swallow, that you was just out here letting dudes just dump off in you, right? You just be letting them do whatever they want to. But then there's women who won't. I know, Pookeisha. There's girls who won't sleep around with a bunch of different men. And then there's girls who use protection. They get on birth control. They do whatever they have to do to make sure Pookie don't get them pregnant. You, on the other hand, played stupid games and won stupid prizes, right? But now you're mad. Whose fault is that? That you trusted your body and put it in the hands of some loser man, and now you stuck with a baby that you don't want. That sounds like a personal problem. But you got to stop jumping into saying that everybody going and getting all these abortions, or that they don't have the physical ability to have kids. You know how disrespectful that is to women who really can't have kids? It's very disrespectful. It's very disrespectful, right? And it's just so sad that y'all are grown women who can't even control your own body. And it's funny because 1 minute it's your body, your choice. And then when you don't want to take responsibility for laying up with losers and getting pregnant, then all of a sudden he trapped you and you had no control over what was going on. And, you know, you go into child mode where you just this helpless little child and somebody took advantage of you and you had no say-so in the process. Right? Because you couldn't have been on no birth control or anything. And you can say I was on birth control, condom busted. That ain't usually what happened with y'all. Stop it. Right? Stop it. Stop the games. But again, stop jumping left field just because you hear a woman ain't got no kids. All right? And if you love your kids so much, love your kids and stop being mad because women bragging about not having kids. Because guess what? One thing I'm going to do, I'm going to brag about not having no kids because I don't want them. And I'm going to brag about it. And there ain't nothing you can do about it.
This trend is exposing all the bitter, spiteful, jealous, and most importantly, regretful parents out there. You cannot tell me that seeing people celebrating being childless at any age, or the fact that they're childless and have a ring, or childless with degrees, is really getting you that triggered that you're gonna go comment nasty, hateful things under their videos. You cannot tell me that you yourself are regretful and jealous of the fact that you decided to have children, because I'm a mom. And when I see those videos, I literally smile. I watch through and I smile because I'm happy for them. I'm like, okay, sis, you look good. You look rested. Your hair is done. Look at my hair. Haven't had a chance to do my hair. You look good. I never think in my head like, oh, she's just, you know, she probably had a bunch of abortions, or she's infertile, or, you know, she's this and that. I'm like, I don't think that. I'm like, weird that y'all think that, but it's because you yourself regret your decision. That's what it is. And you're jealous because I didn't have my first until 31, and I have never on my life, on my child's life, had an abortion. I just had pussy. I didn't have poor pussy management. That's what it was. I didn't have poor pussy management. I just knew better. And I also was smart and didn't just have a child with a shitty baby mama, baby daddy situation. I actually have a child with somebody that really wanted to be a parent and does whatever he can to be the best parent that he can be and partner. So I'm not bitter over here. I'm like, and I was supposed to be the rich traveling auntie. I was supposed to be that. But you know what? Players fall in love. But I'm not bitter, and I'm not mad at any of these women or men celebrating them being childless. It doesn't affect me because I don't regret my kid. But y'all do, and it shows. Oh, and I also got my degree, bought my house, and traveled the world with my partner too before, you know, I had my child. So I don't really have a lot to regret. Something to think about for the rest of you who are projecting your regretfulness and your poor decisions on other people in the comment section. Just saying. You got to have better pussy management. You got to have better, you know what, dangling management. Learn from it.
I just washed my weave, so excuse the hair. But this whole 21 with no kids content is tea. I love this for y'all. I love this for me because I'm 36 with no kids. But the comments is giving you all are bitter that you cannot participate. Look, I enjoy being able to take a nap when I want to. I enjoy being able to make a dinner decision that doesn't involve other little people input. If I want to eat a bowl of cereal on Saturday night, but then I want to eat a steak on Sunday, I can do that because I don't have children to adhere to. Let's get down to the real issue though, because children are a blessing, but they are not a blessing with most of y'all situations. A lot of y'all use babies as band-aids. Yeah, I said it. A lot of y'all want to keep that, or you think that it's going to bond y'all together, but it will bond y'all in parenting, but not in romantic lifestyles. There are a lot of men just stick around for the child, but then they are in love with another woman, or eventually when the child becomes up in age, they leave. You're putting a band-aid on a bullet wound, and then you get mad when us beautiful people are celebrating the fact that we are happy and more than content to not have to bring life in this world. A lot of y'all are bitter, and a lot of you all are just mad because when I say I don't want to bring children in this world, the first thing that you all say is, who's going to take care of you? The same nursing staff that's going to take care of you. We are going to be sitting crocheting and knitting in the same vicinity, because having a kid does not guarantee, and it does not force a child to take care of you. Second of all, what if the child is not even in a position to take care of you? There are so many factors, and if you notice, as the decades gets larger and larger, okay, it is more financially more a burden to do anything these days. Let's just say, for example, in the 90s, you can be one person and have a house before you're 30 years old. Okay, 2000, maybe it's 35. Now it's like we all living on the streets. I'm just saying, so if you put the financial burden of a child taking care of you 30 years from now, like, and what if they don't want to? What if they just don't want to? It's just so many things that I think about when I hear people being so negative about this trend, because it's not like you all don't make children your personality. Because the first thing that you'll say is that y'all may not having kids your personality. Your bio says
I'm a
mother of 3. This shit says loving Keontae as a son forever. Look, y'all just I fear that you all don't want to be honest about motherhood, and it eats you all up inside that some people are just not buying the bait. This is not 1967, okay? We are not here just to be barefoot and pregnant, okay? Some people just don't even want to have kids. It's not even about the money. For me, it's not about the money. I mean, the money is a good thing, but honestly, I just don't want to bring children in this world. It's a religious, like the way I think view about people and what is being pushed on children from a religious standpoint, from a social economical standpoint, from a draining standpoint. Like nothing in my future screams, let me just go ahead and sprinkle a child into that. But y'all go off. I'm talking about the people with the no kids content. Y'all continue to go off, because every time there's a bitter baby mama in the comment section, you doing something right, girl.
God will always tell you when you need to sit the F down and shut the F up. Excuse my hair, I just woke up. So a few days ago, I had a video go viral about the kids versus no kids topic, the whole trend that's going around. I made a think piece on it. It blew up, didn't expect it to, cool. Most of the comments were, no, I'm lying. I'm not even about to sit up here and lie to y'all. A lot of the comments were very insane. There are people coming in my comments talking about, well, I wouldn't have kids either if I've had 1,000 abortions. There are people in my comments talking about, so you're just mad you can't have kids? There are people saying, oh, so you're infertile. Somebody even told me that I was going to hell. There was even a crazy comment that a man had said that my you-know-what is dry. And I'm not wanted by a man. Me being me, I'm a Pisces, okay? And if you know anything about Pisces, we're emotional creatures. But people always take our kindness for weakness. Like, emotional meaning any emotion we feel, we're going to feel it to the max and we're not going to give up. So me being me, I start replying to the comments. Because who are you talking to under my video on my page? At my grown age. I wasn't even saying nothing crazy in the comments. I wasn't cussing, calling nobody no names for real, nothing. I might have called somebody a few names. But my thing is, this whole kid debate, not kid debate, even TikTok is catering to y'all. Because I find it insane that you can go in a person's comments and call them a HOE, saying they going to HELL, saying they didn't have 1,000 abortions, and not get reported. But the second, y'all, When I say the second I reply back to the comments, TikTok is violating my comments. I just got my first strike. I have never had a strike on this app ever. And it's so crazy because there's so many women, especially in my comments, talking about, I've never seen women with kids on here bashing the childless. It's only y'all bashing the mothers. Babe, have you not been on TikTok for the past week, 2 weeks and a half? Have you not seen some of the comments under not only my video, but everybody's video that's making the 21 with no kids trend? Clock it. But I'm going to sit down and shut up and try not to reply to no more comments because I'm not trying to get my page suspended. And that's why I don't have no kids. So I'm sitting here with my little silly self trying to freaking understand, how are my comments getting reported and immediately taken down, y'all? I mean, I could post it 5 seconds later, take it down, community guidelines violation. Like, so they not violating? Just proves how society views women with no kids. I also had another person come on here and say, that's fine, but you don't need to bash kids. Nothing, y'all can go watch my video. I'll tag it. Nothing in my video bashed kids. Why are y'all allowed to make think pieces on us and we can't do the same? Why are y'all allowed to come on this app and any social media platform and broadcast y'all kids from the moment y'all have them to the moment they graduate in high school? But we can't come out here and broadcast our child-free single lives. It's insanity. But I digress. Y'all have a good day. I'm going to let y'all have this one because I'm not trying to get my page banned over this silliness. But one more thing.